Hello, and hello to anyone who is able to join this reading, guys. So before we get into it, I don't know. The live format changed, so if you come to this later, I'm gonna have all the information about booking a personal reading with me in the description box below. I think I have to do it afterwards. But yeah, regardless, regardless, let's see what this new moon is bringing for us. So I'm gonna do something a little bit different than I normally do for these readings. I'm going to pull from like a few different decks. So first we're going to look at the conscious mind from this deck, and then we're going to look at the subconscious mind. Hey, we're going to look at the subconscious mind and what's going on kind of under behind the scenes in this deck. And then I'm going to pull from the animal deck and then from the moonology. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a pretty full reading. This is general. It's not going to be specific to zodiac signs because obviously like full moons and stuff, depending on the placements of it, they affect you individually, but that really has to do with like your chart and the time that you were born. So I'm just looking at the overall vibration and frequency that we're all radiating on. Okay, so yep. Hello, Gemini rising and Sagittarius sun. Happy birthday to you. Okay. So we are going to get into the conscious mind first. And like, I don't know what's going to come up for this. I do have a little bit of ideas, not a little bit, but I have ideas, my own ideas about what this full moon is going to bring. But I'm curious to see what the cards are going to say and where we line up. So let's start digging. Oops. I was like, I have this here. Okay. Let's start digging. Let's see what's going on in our conscious mind for this full moon in Gemini. Excuse me. South Africa. That is so cool. OMG. That is so dope. Hello from Cleveland. Man, that's so funny. Please don't forget to drop a like while you are here, guys, if you, like it, I guess. And yeah. All right, let's see. What's going on for the collect? Ooh! Oh my. Oh, okay. So that was quite a few batches of cards that came out. So I'm going to read them in batches. So I'm going to start with the one that flipped, and then I'm going to go here. All right, so we're starting off. All right, so we're starting off with the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, King of Swords, the Empress, the Justice card, and the Six of Cups. So right off the rip, this is all about balance, but not balance that hasn't been earned, all right, and worked for. This implies a lot of unbalancedness that was happening with the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. But all of it was worth knowing your inner strength. And like this has to do with like the full moon in Gemini. We have Gemini energy here with the swords, this Lord of Ruins. We have the Gemini card, which was the first card out. And so basically this is just talking about I feel like they were sort of things that you saw as missteps in the past. Now you're looking at them as they made you stronger. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for the obstacles that you hit in the past. And that is all about what this full moon is bringing in. It's bringing in a new knowledge of self and a drive to move forward. And it seems like the cards are frequencing that back to us with the Empress here, the Justice card, and the Six of Cups. So the main idea here is going to be about coming into alignment with yourself, stepping into your divine feminine energy. And this includes if you are masculine, if you are a man, it doesn't matter. It's the feminine energy as far as being fertile, as far as like giving life to something, bringing something that was an idea, seeing it through and to fruition, and kind of seeing it grow and mature. You don't have to be a woman to do that, surprisingly. But like this is where people are this is where the energy of it all is being pulled, all right, to see the fruition of things that have been very difficult to start in the past. Okay, and I do sense that there has been a lot of financial woes, particularly about being able to just stand on your own 2 feet. And there's been like this thinking of perfection. I'm being drawn to the Virgo symbol here, but overall, I'm just getting an energy of overcoming. Having a newfound knowledge and knowing that you're better off in this go round, in this next cycle, because you know what you're not going to do because it didn't work for you in the past, and being okay with that as the as a takeaway from your journey, okay? So we have the Princess of Cups, Six of Pentacles. Wow, 6 6. And I kept seeing sixes when I was out earlier. I was getting some food and I saw not one but two license plates that had 666 on it. And then I was like, wow, that's crazy to see two license plates. Then the next license plate I saw was 699. So I was just like, whoa. But I think that 666 is balance and positive energy. It's all about harmony and grace. My life path number is a 6, so I wasn't necessarily scared when I saw those numbers. But here they are. Here they are yet again coming out. You know, so this is all about finding harmony and grace within situations. And I just sense so much victory and peace and balance, just being at ease with things as they are. Even though right now when this video comes to you, you might not feel that way. Like you might be like, oh man, everything just kind of fell apart, or blah, 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 blah. But I imagine that within these next 2 weeks, there's going to be a sense of release. There's going to be a feeling of like, you know what, I can't control these things and I'm not going to waste energy to control it, because now I know that there's something better for me. And a lot of it is coming from, you have this vision again that you might not have had. A lot of people haven't had visions about what they wanted for quite some time, just because life has been so trying. You know, I do personal readings and all this other stuff, and like, shout out to everyone who gets a personal reading from me. I love and adore you. But like, it's one of those situations where everybody's just got hit with this burden of life, and we realize how much those day-to-day routines can take you off course, and how the you can so easily stray away from yourself, your wants, your desires, just by trying to make everyone else happy. And again, I'm being pulled to the Empress card, and I feel like it comes from a very motherly, nurturing energy of just wanting everybody else to be all right, but to the detriment of oneself. I do feel like with this full moon that's happening, I'm sensing that there is a return to self, there's a return to value, and also appreciating everything that you were able to do for everyone else. It's just like, you know, not only was I able to overcome my own circumstances, but along the way I was able to help other people, and that is a feeling that fills you with joy and keeps you happy, okay? So here we have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Swords, yep, the Two of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Last Judgment. And this really speaks about that newfound passion that I was saying, as far as like falling in love with yourself and having a more direct vision and more direct communication about what it is that you plan to accomplish, and also not accepting anything that is less than, like, it just won't be. It just won't be. With the Queen of Swords, like, she's okay being like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, that doesn't sound like fun. No, I'm not coming. And that is, and the reason why no is so powerful and why it drives people crazy when little babies figure the word no out for terrible twos is because you can't do anything when somebody says no. When somebody truly means no, when a no is really a no, there's no amount of convincing, there's no amount of hey, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, or blah, 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 blah. There's no amount of negotiation that will change a real no from a no. And a lot of you have rediscovered that word no, and you are very happy that you have, because you forgot. A lot of people forgot. And you know, and also, and I do want to speak, and I'm being drawn to this too, be prepared for other people to tell you no. Be prepared to be told no in this fear too, because it's coming for everybody. Everybody's coming into like this new awakening and dawning that they need to do for themselves, not in a selfish way, but it's just like, if I'm actually going to contribute to the world, to a higher conscious, you know, to a vibration, then it has to be implied that I have to be cool. That's why when they have, you know, when they say your airplane is going down, you have to put on your mask first before you help anybody else, is because if you can't breathe, then how are you going to help anybody? Now you've fallen out. Now all the attention is back on you because you didn't take the vital step of knowing yourself first and doing and saving yourself first so you can help other people. So just be aware that the energy is mutual between everyone. So if you have other people who are telling you no, it really is just a shift. It should be mutual at this point. Both of you already knew that it wasn't going to be, this should just be the final nail in the coffin. Like, this is just it, to kind of let those relationships that were kind of lingering, holding on by a thread, to go. With the Queen of Swords and the Two of Swords here, it's just time to move towards something new, move towards something more balanced, and something where you feel connected. I feel like a lot of people have connected to people, you know, you talk to people, but there's been a longing of real friendship, or real relationship, real love, real love. Hey, I'm searching for that real love. But for real, like people genuinely are. And that's in all aspects of life, you know. So we have the devil, the Knight of Wands, Nine of Swords, Eight of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. And I mean, yes, I need real friends. Everybody needs real friends. Real friends, where you at? But always keep in mind, real friends and few and far between. But we have the devil and the Knight of Wands. So this is moving out of the devil energy. All right, there is still going to be some lingering anxieties, right? I do think that I call them flare-ups, like when I'm when I'm in bed at night and I just start like worrying about everything, like money, everything, you know. I call them like little flare-ups, my little hot flashes. You might still have those hot flashes of just like overwhelming sense of like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Where am I going? You know, that's normal. That's human. That's how you know that you're like in a human body. So those things are, I don't say that they're good, and I don't think that they're necessarily healthy, but they happen and you shouldn't punish yourself for those thoughts. But overall, I do see you moving out of that energy as much as you can and understanding like, hey, I can't control everything. Hey, it's not all in my jurisdiction. And what is for me, which is why we ended with the Eight of Cups to the Three of Pentacles. Exactly what I was talking about, walking towards a community where you guys can group, where you guys can come together and build together in order to create something that actually means something to you and everybody around. It's genuinely just making the world a place that you would want to be a part of and what you would want to see. And now people are going to be giving, not people, but the universe, this full moon is going to be giving you those people in order to achieve those dreams. And do not be surprised. Thank you. And do not be surprised if it's a small but hardy group. Like, there's strength in numbers. There's strength in three people who want to accomplish the same thing. I mean, I just heard another Jesus reference earlier. You know, I love the story of Jesus Christ. I personally am Catholic and all the other stuff. But if you are not, then just appreciate the story if you can, because it's a crazy story. Because basically, and what I'm about to say is, I was like, Jesus Christ, we still talk about this dude, real or fake or whatever or what have you, believe you. And it was him and his 12 boys only. It wasn't a whole fan fest. There was a whole world happening, but there were only 13 people that were involved in completely shattering the consciousness that existed at that point in time. And the reason why I say that is just because you cannot be obsessed with how many people come along with you. Just know that if it's 3 people, these 3 people are tight. And if you all can come together and utilize your talents, even if it's just you and one other person, but you give it all that you got, you have no choice but to be successful. So keep that in mind as you start surfing through these new circles, because there's going to be a lot of people who come into your environment. But the people who click is going to be a few and small but mighty crew. And these are people that you're going to be involved with for probably the rest of your life. These are people that you're going to keep in contact with for the rest of your life. Be because you make money together, be because you just really click and vibe, be because you're in a relationship with this person. For a lot of you, it could be all 3 of those things, you know, wrapped up into one. With the addition of other people, I really feel like if people are coming into unions at this point in time, the person that you're coming into union to, y'all's friendships crews are gonna mold also. Like, it's one of those, it's when it rains it pours, okay? And so Jack, just keep an open mind. I thought I had a card. Oh yeah, I was like, doing a card flip? Yeah, the Princess of Pentacles. There's going to be opportunities that might start off very small, but given the nurturing, all right, given the attention that it deserves, it will flourish and prosper. And then we go with the Two of Cups. That's of course. I was just saying, for some of you guys, this is going to come in the form of some sort of partnership, union, one-on-one, and then it leads to other connections. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't get obsessed with the numbers just yet, because it's all unfolding before your very eyes. So we have the Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords to the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups, which I love. So this is a very like healing energy. We have the Emperor and the Five of Wands, which I'm going to dabble in later, but let me address this. So we have the Three of Swords to the Eight of Wands. So there's certainly were some tough lessons that had to be learned, particularly when it has to deal with feelings, romances, and balance, all right, with this Libra energy here and Saturn. This Three of Swords is just taking lessons that were disruptive, things that could have been superficial, didn't really have a lot of grounding to them. It it it's taking it out, it's leaving, it's exiting with the Eight of Wands, and it's pretty swift. So also do not be surprised to get into it with a masculine energy, because everybody's the feminine energy right now is so high. I hope that you're kind of understanding what I'm saying. The feminine energy and people stepping into themselves and stepping into the love that they have for themselves, it is very agitating to a masculine who's had a lot of power for a lot of time. And again, this does not have to deal with gender. This does not have to do with gender. This does not have to do with gender. This has everything to do with spiritual self and energies, okay? And so do not be surprised if there were masculine energies that were not serving you, that are particularly coming and having some sort of conflict. Because again, you've learned the word no, so there's people that you're saying no to, and their ego, particularly when we speak about masculine energy, we're speaking about the ego. There's a lot of egos that are going to be bruised and hurt because of this shift that you've stepped into, you know. And I'm sorry, man, if you're here, this is not like I don't consider myself to be like a rah feminist or anything. So know that this isn't coming from like an extremely biased place. I try to be even. I think everybody has their place. But the scariest thing about a woman is when a woman finds out that she's a woman and what that means. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like when a woman finally steps into like what she is and the power that she holds and the power that she actually controls, but beyond the illusion of the ego, past and moving to more of the spiritual essence and just like being able to feel an energy, there's so much power and femininity that it's very scary to the masculine, which is why they don't understand it. And even to say, I was just like, and sorry to get kind of gross, but men to this day are still freaked out about women's menstrual cycles. Like they don't understand how we bleed once a month and still manage to be alive, because normally when a man sees blood, that indicates death. So the fact that we bleed on schedule every month and we're still alive, that bugs them out. And it's 2019, you know, and they'll be like, you say I'm on my period, and guys, oh man, okay. Do you know what I'm saying? So you just have to the essence of being a woman is very contradictory to the ego, if that makes sense. Like women, our ego's different. And so right now, that's where some clashes are coming in. And I know that Uranus is having a hard aspect to Mars right now, and so that is very much indicated in why some egos are going to be shattered. All right, and it just has to do with people, and if it's not a man, it just has to do with somebody who's built their identity off of having some sort of power and pull over your situation. And so that's what I'm talking about. Okay, regardless of all of this, moving out of that energy, sorry about talking about all that craziness, but hey, we're here. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So this is wish fulfillment, and really wish fulfillment on stability. I feel like, you know, and I believe that the card from Moonology for the full moon in Gemini is the answers you need are coming, or something like that. And for a lot of people, it's been, where is my stability coming from? Where is the money coming from? How am I going to consistently be fed? Like, excuse me, who is consistently going to be in my life? I feel like there's just been a lot of conflicts that have happened and arisen over the past couple of years. I feel like in particular for a lot of you, the past 5 years have brought a lot of difficult lessons and challenges, again, that have completely challenged the ego. And finally, I feel like the ego has been so beaten down and in us, you know, and I'll put myself in this too. The ego has been so broken down that it really has gotten to a point of complete surrender. Like everything that I've wanted did not work out. So apparently what I want is not actually what I want, because I would have had it by now. And people are coming to that conclusion, and for the first time being okay with that conclusion, because the magic, the light at the end of this tunnel is whatever ends up coming in for you is for you. It actually is what you actually wanted. You you're okay with not knowing now, or at least you're coming to the point of being like, not thy will, Lord, let thy will be done. Whatever you have in store for me, universe, just take me out of this situation. I don't have any wants. I just want to be a vessel to move your vision of love forward. Okay. And so a lot of people are going to be doing that. If you're focusing on communications or your job involves communications, I do see that being able to pick up. So we have the Magician and the Two of Wands. So this is all about using that power, manifesting that power to move forward. I mean, and it's strategic. It's strategic. I think that for a lot of people here, all right, and I'm looking up 33 people, 35 people love it. For a lot of people here and people who find this video, there's a really awesome thing that's happening. And it's because of, again, the removal of the ego, but it's also believing in the power of self. And it's weird because that sounds contradictory. It sounds like that doesn't make sense to be like, I'm taking myself out of the situation, but yet I'm going to be successful. And it's because the reason why you can say that is because you believe in the unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? You believe in the unbelievable, and you're just like, I'm here now. I've been so bruised for these past couple of years, for these past couple of months, that now I'm to a point that I've been able to withstand anything and everything, so I know I can take on everything that has in store for me. And so whatever the Lord and universe has coming up for me, I know that I can handle it. I'm confident that I can handle it, because this last couple of rounds has been some bull to the shiggity, you know what I'm saying? And so there's just a energy of, I'm ready to move forward with the lessons that I had in order to propel me to success. And I'm going to be successful because I have God by my side, I have faith by my side, I have angels by my side, and also releasing the fear, relinquishing the fear of being strategic, understanding that like it's okay to have a plan and follow that plan. It seemed as if a lot of people, and I can say myself included, I will throw myself in here, I am no better than you, where it's just like there was a sense of wanting things to kind of like fall out of the sky in a sense, like not like a, oh my gosh, I don't have to put in any work, but just waiting for that moment for everything to just like click. But the clicking that's happening now is the plan to get to what you want, if that makes sense. Like, it's just like, oh, I don't have to get the $10 million now, but if I put all of my energy in saving $5 a month, or doing this, or selling the art that I have sitting on my thing, or or just, being very specific, then I can get to that $10,000, and I don't even have to ask anybody. That'll be mine, and I earned it. That switch right there is providing so much power in building that long-term stability and manifesting, again, strategically, how you're going to be successful. It is taking the idea from head and putting it to paper, but even more so with this moon and this transition within the next 2 weeks, putting it into action. And again, this is because you are meeting the people that are actually going to be able to help you put this into action. Where as in the past, you've been kind of alone. Oh my gosh, the Sun in Temperance. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love this for each and every one of you, because this is a very overcoming a lot, and just a full completion, and being able to be at ease and content with where you are, even if it's not where you want to be, because you are so positive that you are going to get to where you're going. And it's just, it brings a sense of warmth in like the coldest of days to know that it's going to work out. Some of it is out of my hands. And you know what's even better about this, because with the Temperance is the daughter of reconcilers, and I've noticed this too as I was reading up about this moon. Sorry, it was like thank you so much. Sorry, I saw the message. I was like, ooh. But this is also forgiving yourself, more importantly, for those past mistakes that you feel that you may have had. Oh my gosh, I just realized my phone is not charged in. So I just had a happened in the past, because with this newfound confidence isn't the word, but like with this new, I was like, it's bigger than confidence. With this newfound sense of self, you had to be honest with old self and be like, old self, sometimes you were not that great. You weren't that great. And you really let people down. You let me down. You know what I'm saying? There were things that I could have done in the past that will help me now in the future that you just didn't do. And now I'm here looking stupid and I'm upset, but I forgive you because you didn't know. If you had the information that you had now, maybe you wouldn't have made that same mistake. And I have this information now, so future me can be very happy with the decisions that I come into contact with because of the confidence I have, because of my sense of worth. So this is also just making sure that you are being kind to yourself and being kind to your mistakes, and just understanding that all of it was a part of this bigger journey to get you to exactly where you are now. And I had a moment when I was in the car and I was just driving, and I wasn't driving with any purpose or anything, and I looked and I just felt this sense, and I was just like, you know what, everything is exactly the way it is supposed to be right now. There is nothing out of place. That is what I realized. That's the first time I've ever felt that way. Every time, everything in my life, I'm just like, if it was only this, like, I got the iPhone 8, but if only I had the iPhone 10, you know what I'm saying? I would be shit popping or whatever. Like, just stuff like that, Oh my gosh, I'm in Ohio and it's cold, and it's just always like, man, if it wasn't cold, man, if I had more clothes, man, if I had this. And not to say that it's always about material. It sounds materialistic, but that's just the 3D realm that we live in. That's just where we are. But just understanding that every part of my journey for this moment, to me be sitting here, exactly here, 12:12, in front of all of you, beautiful people. I know you're beautiful. I can't see you, but I know you're beautiful. Everything had to happen exactly the way it happened in order for me to be here right now. And that's a period. And that's starting with my parents. That's starting with my parents' parents. That's going way, 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 way back for this moment to exist. And I can finally say, and I'm happy to be sharing it with the people that are here, that all of us are meant to be here right now. And you should you should be feeling like, yeah. Where else would I be right now? You can say, I'd rather be in South Africa, you know what I'm saying? Sipping on some drink, looking out to the beautiful zebras, and what's in Africa. I think it's beautiful there. It's probably warmer, I would assume. I could be there right now, but I'm not. I'm here. And that's okay. And being okay with that. And that, I'm sorry that I went in on these cards, but that is literally the definition of temperance with the sun card. It's everything is in place. Forgive yourself. Let it go. You had to make that mistake, so you know not to make it again. How would you know? None of us know what the F is going on for a majority of our lives. And the moment that we figure out what's going on, I feel like that's the moment you die. Truly, I truly sense that. I think some of us are here a little bit, different from others, but I just want to stress that, like, how hard we are people. Thank you so much. How hard we are as people, how hard we are conditioned as animals to achieve, and how much of a blessing. Like, if you have a dog, look at your dog sometime. Look at how at ease they are with their life, because all they care about is eating when they gotta eat, taking a poo when they gotta take a poo, and getting loved on. That is their entire mission. Why are we any different from that? Why have we humans said that we are different from that? That's all we need. Simple. It's simple. It's simple. And it's so difficult to realize how simple existing is, what we're actually asked to do. And to bring in, the Bible in again, just because I love the stories again, but that was all Adam and Eve had to do, was sit there. That was it. Take care of the plant. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. Y'all ain't even got to hunt. You know what I'm saying? Just sit there. Enjoy it. And they were not satisfied. Still had to take a bite of the apple. This is your opportunity in this lifetime to not take a bite of that apple and just accept that everything that you need is around you in the Garden of Eden. And that is point blank, period. You have everything that you need. Why are you seeking elsewhere? Because a snake told you to? Because society told you to? Because Instagram, Facebook told you that you need something else? No, no. As tempting as it is, you're fine. You have everything that you need. And just be confident in that. God got you. Or however you identify. You don't have to call it God. I do. I'm sorry if that offends you, but you know what I'm saying? Love got you. The universe got you. All right. Boom. The Five of Swords. Excuse me. Thank you. The Five of Swords to the Chariot. Moving out of the conflict. Moving out of feeling defeated and coming out triumphant. Look at this. I'm telling you. Lord of defeat to the Lord of defeat, Lord of triumph, of light. Defeat to triumph. Defeat to triumph. I mean, triumphantly charging towards this next chapter of your life. Closing out this cycle as I'm being pulled to the universe. Closing out this cycle and moving on and taking your power in your own hand because, again, understanding the ebbs and flows of life. Understanding that there's ups and downs. You know, this card is reflective of the Cancerian energy. You have the two polar opposites here represented by yin and yang, and again the warrior right here is on top of them, pushing them in the direction that they want to go. That's because they understand there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Doesn't matter, you got to keep going. That's just life. Seven of Cups, the Hierophant, the Four of Swords. So some of you guys, you're trying too hard, or you are trying to impress someone too hard. Again, there's a masculine energy, an ego energy here. Yang. I'll try to refer to it as yang. There's a very dominant yang energy that's coming in, and I feel like don't fight it. Just rest. Understand that this person is, you have the upper hand. If you're in this situation and you're watching this, you have the upper hand because you have this knowledge to know that this person is vibrating at a lower frequency, and because you know this, you're responsible for handling the situation the way that you do. And you're going to be tried because this person is very egotistical, because we have the King of Cups here, the Seven of Wands, and of course, boom, we have the High Priestess. I was going to say this. Thank you, shout out, because I was just like, you're going to be tried. If you can afford to take vacations, okay, if you can afford to leave a situation and take, a breath, perhaps 4 days, to just recover and focus on yourself instead of trying to combat this yang energy, I imagine that you would get into, again, the divine feminine. We have this 2 here, all right, the High Priestess, because there's things that are happening beyond outside of your control. And just because yang is being challenged, that does not give you permission to kick them while they're down. At the end of the day, I don't want to word it in this way, but they lost a slave in a sense. And I know that that's probably like a really bad way to put it. Like, people could take that all kinds of out of context, but it's just like, if you were relying on free labor, another conversation for another day. If you're relying on free labor and then that free labor says, you're either going to have to pay me or I'm out, you're going to get upset. You're going to get upset. There's no way that you can, you've depended on this person. So understand that they lost their cash cow. And they know it, and so they're going to do everything that they can in order to keep you down, because they're losing. And that's when you spit, that's when you kick, that's when you start getting really ugly. So brace yourself for that, but do not take it personally. Just pray for this person, pray for them, because they need another cash cow. You're Audi 500, like, you're on to better things. You're being guided and pulled in a different direction. So be aware not to be confused by trying to impress yang energy, by trying to flatter someone's ego. They're completely operating out of ego, which is not inherently bad. It's just where they are in their cycle. And trust me, that ego will be challenged at some point. It has to happen. Every bully has a bigger bully, period. And that's forever and always. Okay. So every bully has a bigger bully. Remember that. Know that you'll find out about how this bully played out. But also be prepared to take a break and sever ties. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be necessarily the easiest of exits, because this person is very much, dependent on whatever it is you're supplying to them. And this could be in a marriage, this could be in a work environment, this could be in a friendship. It doesn't matter. It's probably going to resonate with different people in different ways. All right, but we have the Three of Cups and the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't take reversals typically, but with this combination to have a card of reunion versus a card of rejection in the reverse, I'm going to say that there's an opportunity here for a reconciliation, okay? There's an opportunity here for a reconciliation of sorts. All right, so it seems like we're moving into another energy. Woo, 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 woo. Moving into another energy alert. And this one more so specifically has to deal with party time, yeah. This so more so has to deal with relationships, more of intimacy, intimate relationships. So this can be intimate friendships. This can be romantic relationships. But the key to if this message is for you, this connection has not gone anywhere. All right, it really hasn't gone anywhere. It's been very stale. There's been a sense of a lot of potential, but it hasn't actually come together yet. Here's the beautiful thing about it, and this is if you're particularly dealing with a King of Cups character, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, particularly Scorpio, or also a Libra, and but more so the general characteristics of this person outside of their signs is they are probably very emotionally unavailable, very closed off, not one to truly express how they feel, even though they have a lot of feelings. I'll say that again. They have and possess a lot of feelings. They choose and prefer to experience them alone. And that is why this situation has taken the I was going to say turn, but that would imply that there was movement. It hasn't taken a turn. It's been at a standstill for a very long time. But the King of Cups, again, yeah, to the Hermit, which just clarifies exactly what I was saying. And there's Virgo energy here also. This person deals with their feelings alone. They always have. And I won't say they always will, but like they always will have a part of them that is going to not be able to open up fully. But here's the beautiful thing. I feel like this moon has hit particularly a softer masculine energy. So one I was saying was like one thing that I saw was like I'm sorry, I just got a message and it threw me off because it looked like somebody's name. And it spooked me. All right, we're back in this thing. But hello, I'm back. Am I back? I'm trying to be back. Hopefully, it lets me stay back. Am I back? All right. Looks like YouTube says I'm back. It was. I guess let me know. Where'd she go? I'm seeing all the past ones. Am I back? I'm sorry for anybody who's watching this later. They're like, what happened? Okay, hey, we back in this thing. Hey, y'all, I missed you. We back. All right. But yeah, what I was saying about this person, I feel like this moon, they've also had to come into terms, and I believe somebody was mentioning that they had a tough childhood, and that easily could be the transformation that this person has gone through, because it's from the Hermit to the Death card. So there's been a lot of soul searching that's happened. If you felt like this person was your partner, if you felt like this person was a soulmate, or you felt like this person was a best friend, or however it relates to you, if you've been going through a transformation, you have to assume that they've been going through the exact same transformation that you have. And you cannot be egotistical in the timing of that transformation. And that is very difficult to learn. If this is truly a person who mirrors you, then they are going through that same thing that you went through. They're asking themselves those same questions and trying to come to the same conclusions, and that takes time. Now, here's the cool thing. I feel like the universe and the timing is coming together. You guys were not on that same vibration. In fact, I would even say, being that you're here, you're probably way ahead of them. You've probably already come to these conclusions and probably started working on your own finances, abundance in the meantime, while this energy was kind of trying to like catch up to you, if that makes sense. But I do sense that this person is catching up with the Star card to the Four of Cups, ending with the Knight of Cups, okay? Excuse me. So there is going to be some offer here, and it could even be, in the form of an apology. In the form of an apology. Oh, great. Awesome. I'm happy that you're having that question. This is so funny because this is such a group energy. because I can even say that to an extent. I relate to this. So we're all in this. We're all in this together. Hey, but yeah, but regardless, this person might be coming back with some sense of apology because they feel bad, if that makes sense. They're going through that same thing where they're punishing themselves too. Like, I could probably give the person that you're thinking about that same speech of like, hey, forgive yourself. They're not in a space right now to forgive themselves just yet, but okay. Wi-Fi is bugging, but that's fine. I took the Wi-Fi off, so hopefully this will get. Here we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Hanged, the Swords, and you're just like, is it going to break? Will it actually fall? Is this going to crack open? You know, because there's been such a level of patience, if that makes sense. But yeah, I see the Four of Wands and the Ten of Wands here. There is an opportunity for like a commitment, for like a long-term commitment, but sorry guys, hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. So a couple things. So there is an opportunity here for a long-term commitment, but somebody has to exit a previous commitment. And I'm not saying that in the form of like it implies that it involves another person or a third-party situation. The commitment could be to self. You could be committed to yourself. You could be committed to your freedom. Like, I'm not signing on to some BS. Like, I will mind my own business, period. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's been that, just because the energies with the King of Cups and the Hermit. I feel like this person, I'm not going to say that they haven't been around, you know, got downtown, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that they haven't had their fun and their cheap thrills, but for the most part, I feel like they've had like very oppressive relationships that have gone, like karmic relationships that have existed. They've had just random relationships that existed. And they've had but lately they've been nurturing dating themselves. And so there's this this feeling of like, I know if I want to get into the space I want to be in with this person, if I have to do the Ten of Pentacles, and I have to give up a part of myself. And I feel like subconsciously, like, there's a want to not necessarily give that part up, and that's what they're wrestling with. But the desire and the passion is pushing them so much with the Fortitude and the Ace of Swords here, that I don't think that they have much choice in the matter, because they're not going to find any sort of happiness or peace chasing something that doesn't exist. Really prefers long-term commitments and stability. It's about coming into you. They think that you're different. They know that you're different, but then so like not giving enough to the situation when they had the opportunity to give to the situation. And it's funny because this person feels like as if it's disrespectful. Like, this person is very much a respect person, and they were just like, I was disrespectful in the way that I handled the treatment of you. Like, I would never treat a woman that way. Like, I would never do those things to somebody who I've, you know, really saw a future with, and I can't believe that because of the situation that I was in, I acted in that way. And they feel very bad about it, and that's another reason why they're taking so long to come forth, because they know that there would have to be an apology attached to them coming. And they're not the best apology people. It's not that they have a problem. They're very prideful, and they're not really articulate when it comes to being like, so I was going through it. Like I said, they dealt with their emotions alone. So when they have to open up and be vulnerable anyway, it makes them very uncomfortable. But that is one of the things that they have to overcome. That's one of the lessons and journeys that they have to learn. Like, if you would think about your journey and all the things that you had to overcome, you would have had that same lesson too, where you probably are an independent person and you probably keep a lot in and feel uncomfortable asking for help, or feel uncomfortable telling people how you genuinely feel. Like, you might talk a lot, but you might not say what it is that you're actually feeling. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so if you've done that in the past, then of course you're being greeted with this energy. Now you see the other end of it, and what it looks like, with the Seven of Pentacles here. So there is a level of patience and waiting, but the Seven of Pentacles to the Ten of Cups. So you're waiting, your wait is worthwhile. And again, and I want to say that the wait is worthwhile, and I want to stress this, particularly if you're watching this for a love perspective, right? The weight of whatever you've planted is worthwhile. It's not attached to this person specifically. So yes, there's union and all the other stuff, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about just understanding that, like, it might not be what you want, but the universe is going to grant you your wishes. Whatever your wishes, that is what you're going to get. So if you want a divine counterpart, a soulmate, you want somebody who matches you, you want someone equal, then you will be granted that wish regardless right now. So, and I imagine that a lot of you are actually still open to the possibility of anybody else. This is just the person that's caught your attention. This is the vibration that you like. This is the person that you have, is tangible, right? You can see it kind of unfolding. So that's why you've latched onto this. But for a lot of you, there's also another part of you that is open to dream. You're open to be open, by someone else, like and that's fine, and that's where the freedom of and the release is coming from. Oh my gosh, we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. To the Foolish Man, oh my gosh, Ace of Cups, Foolish Man, Wheel of Fortune, Princess of Wands. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, there's just an overall love and accepting that there is something new coming in. Now, whether it's new energy with an old person that it never really kicked off with, this is, to me, the energy as with the Hangman, I don't think that this is an ex. I don't think that this is somebody who, like, you dated for a long time. This is somebody that you probably had like some sort of friendship with or something, and then it looked like it was gonna take off, and then it just didn't. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why it can be completely new energy with the old person. But for some of you, it's just a new person in general. And it's coming in pretty quickly. I don't think that this is going to take a whole lot of time, guys. Again, this is a new moon reading. So this implies that it's going to be within this next 2-week cycle. You made those friendships. It all ties together, right? So those friendships and everything that are going to be made come through a span. So we're very and then something new is going to present itself. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands. A couple of new things could be presenting themselves with the Queen of Wands energy here, because she's very attractive and believes in the law of attraction, right? We have the Four of Pentacles and the Blasted Tower. So I just feel like the floodgates are going to be open with the Four of Pentacles in the Tower, because the Four of Pentacles is all about holding on to something too tightly, so much so that you can't accept anything in, and then the Tower is all about blasting through everything and in order to create a new structure, replace the old structure with something new. And I'm being drawn to the Wheel of Fortune. So there's going to be some unexpected shift that causes you to relinquish some sort of power control. For some of you guys, it could be your home. I'm being drawn to Saturn here, so it could be also your job. We do have the Lovers coming out. The Page of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Hold on, I'm going to finish with the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the last card we have is the Three of Wands. Okay, so there are just going to be some very intelligent, enlightened decisions that are going to be made with the Princess of Swords to the Lovers card here, or this can genuinely imply communication coming from an extremely compatible relationship, which I'll get into. But with the Lovers and the Page of Swords, this can imply that there's some sort of somebody's trying forward, because somebody's trying to strategize a way to come back into the mold, because somebody genuinely wants to work together with this connection. Again, this could be love, friendship, or whatever. There's an opportunity here for work also. Like this is a very profitable kind of connection that's happening, and again, it folds into the early part of the reading. It's all one and the same. It's just like everybody else is on this mission to gain so they can share, you know. So it's like I need the resources, the money, the opportunity in order to do my mission of power. So anything that doesn't bring any of that resources, comfortability, it's going to be left aside, you know. It's not going to be held on to. So closing out this portion of the reading, somebody's strategizing how to really articulate that they see that much potential without coming off super strong. Because like they're too cool for that, you know. But we have the King of Pentacles, the Six of Swords to the Queen of Cups. So the masculine energy is coming towards the feminine energy. All the feminine energy has to do is sit and wait to receive, and let the masculine kind of strategize and figure out just what the plan is. What's the plan? How do we move forward here? There's a very strong desire to work together and grow and expand and be together. For some of you, there could be some sense of distance with the Three of Wands here. It might be long distance, and so this person is trying to figure out how to get to you or how to get you to them. And like basically when this person comes, oh, it's a very bad connection. Wow, it turned red. Hold on, let me see. Let me try to put on the Wi-Fi again. Maybe it'll work. I've never had like this much issues with the live streaming before. All right, so hopefully that did it. I don't know what's going on, but regardless, there is an effort here, and this has to deal bigger. So taking it out of the love realm and going kind of speaking onto the energies that we were speaking about earlier. There's so much potential here for growth. There's so much potential here for union and coming together with the people that you've been seeking to get the deepest desires from your heart space, from your soul space into the 3D realm. And you're going to be provided the tools in order to accomplish that. Now, if love is something that you've been waiting for, if relationship is something that you've been kind of waiting for, you've been waiting for some information, you should know by the end of this cycle, so really by the end of this year, what your love life is going to be looking like. If you're going to be with the person that you're thinking about right now, then they'll present themselves. If not, then you should know that it's going to be someone else. You know, it's pretty much, it's go time. Nobody has time to be sitting in their head talking about what's happening, all that other stuff. Nobody has time for that. Everybody's like, I have a mission. So if somebody's not on board, then they can get off, and that's a period. and I mean that. Like, that energy is very much go. Like, all this is cute and stuff, but everybody just wants to live in their purpose and be at peace and do the work. Alrighty, so we got 2 cards. So at the bottom of the deck, we have take time to breathe out. Understanding that it is out of your control, or it is in your control. We have emotions are running high and, conclusions are within reach. Bingo. It's all coming together, like I said. You know, intuition is running high. I love how it's a super moon. Yeah, the super moon. So that's intuition. That's Cancerian energy. Again, the divine feminine energy now, you know, Mother Moon is very much a part of this union that's coming together. It's very much a part of the gathering of this information. And so people are being so deeply guided in this situation. Both parties are. You're being guided to do what you're doing. They're being guided to get over themselves and get over them fears and conquer, you know, literally, as I said that, the Ace of Wands popped out again. They're being called to step into their power and get in touch with their emotions, you know, get in touch with their emotions and be able to express those emotions. That's one of the lessons that they have to learn. And so you have to be willing to let them learn that lesson. So if you're continuing chasing or bothering or pressuring them in order to say something, then you've cheated the system and it's not going to work. This person has to evolve in their own time, the same way that you evolved. Okay. So that is what we got for the conscious. An hour in, that is like the conscious. So that's what the forefront is. That's what you're going to see on the 3D realm. I'm going to pull a few cards to see what's going on in more of the subconscious realm. It might be redundant, you know, depending on how it comes across. So if it's redundant, then I will close out the reading and we'll just move forward. But if it offers some new information, then we will do that. And thank you guys so much for joining me. I so appreciate you. And if you're here later, thank you. I hope that these messages resonate and mean something to you. All right. And I'm not seeing any more comments. Can somebody just say something so I can see that the comments are still going? Just because the Wi-Fi has been so funky. I'm just trying to get this reading out, baby. You know, trying to do my part. And all right. Sorry, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Thank you. All right, I turned it off. It was turned off. Thank you, Crystal, for literally something. I appreciate that. You don't know how much that made my day. You really don't. Okay. All right, so now we're looking into the subconscious. I love it. I love it. So they're tied. All right. So we might not even have to stay in this energy very long. Because the first card that came... Oh, man, it was hidden. So I didn't see it. The first card that I saw was the Empress. And then the card behind it, which surprised me, was the Star card. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's that feminine energy, baby. It's that divine feminine. Shout out Mackie Miller, okay? Like, it's the divine feminine, that healing. This is what's happening subconsciously. It's just, and I feel like for a lot of you, it goes so deep. You know, I love getting into the subconscious because this is all the deep stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is all that grimy shit is. And so we're going to talk about mothers. We're going to talk about grandmothers. We're going to talk about just the pattern of feminine energy within your life, your ancestry, and like for the first time, either because of the way that the planets are aligned, because of where you are in your life, because of the things that you're going through, you were probably like the first person in your lineage that's been able to look at a situation for what it is and be like, you know, why did you let that happen? You know, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that be my path. Because I'm too good, and you were too good, and if I could go back in time and tell you that you were too good, then I would have told you, but I wasn't born yet, or what have you, you know. And so it's just really healing some tough patterns that have been set by either really strong feminine energy or really not so strong feminine energy. Both of them can be just as destructive, and both of them have the potential to build really strong people. And so it's coming into that alignment. Yeah, so we have the Two of Wands, which is all about moving forward, a plan of moving forward, being strategic. Everybody's talking about a plan. Everybody's trying to get a concrete plan together in order to get out of their current situations of feeling sad. So we have the Five of Cups. Wow, the Five of Cups, Three of Wands, Eight of Cups, Three of Pentacles. Wow, okay, I'm gonna take these and then I'm gonna go into those. Okay, so there's just been a lot of disappointment. I just feel like, and I saw this card earlier when I did a personal reading for myself, and it spoke to me in a different way than it ever had before, and it's speaking to me the same way now. And it's basically, I love it, the Lovers. And this is like, I really appreciate this card being a horse, because horses are workhorses, you know what I'm saying? And so this poor horse, look at him, he have been pulling all kinds of hay, all kinds of lumber all day, and when he finally looked around at the end of the day in the nighttime, he realized that no one was there and no one even gave a about what he was doing. He's disappointed. He hasn't seen any benefit to the effort and work that he's put in. All right. And that's where the disappointment's coming from. That's why he's so sad. He's so sad. He's so hurt. And that is where your energy is. That's where our energy is. The collective is just like, you know, I had so much hope for the future, and it never worked out the way that I wanted to, and I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in how things went back. I got excited about things, and then they didn't work out. Maybe the lesson was to learn never to get excited about things, but then if I don't get excited about anything, then why am I why am I here? What is the point of all this? And so those have been kind of the ring around the rosy thoughts that people have just been experiencing with this Five of Cups, because those opportunities just seem too good to be true and shiny. Here's the beautiful thing. You're moving away from it again with the Eight of Cups to the Three of Pentacles, you know, and again, this is the subconscious reading. So I just want to identify how heavy this energy sits, how heavy this Five of Cups sits in this reading, and how much it dwells in kind of like the deepest parts of those minds of just being like, I tried to smile through it, but I've lost hope. I've lost a lot of hope. But there's hope that's being regained, all right? Because there are connections that are being made. There are dots that are coming together. Here, this person meets this person, and they're all able to work together and build these mountains. Look at this, both two solid mountains, okay? One really strong and one kind of in the dark, one that's had some issues, but it's coming together. It's all gonna work out. All right, so we were moving into the Son of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Father of Swords, and the Hanged Man. All right, so again, subconscious. So this is talking about, there is a it's funny because I don't have any confusion. There's no confusion card here, but there, because of this Father of Swords and the Hanged Man, because of this Father of Swords and the Hanged Man, I'm really getting that it's right there. Like, there's something that's right there that's not coming out. The Son of Cups, the Ace of Wands. I'm hearing like the cat got your tongue, or like, I don't know why I'm being drawn to this. And okay, so it's the subconscious, so that's why we're dealing with this. I'm sorry, guys, you're gonna have to deal with it. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with this Twilight reference that's about to be dropped on you. Okay, gang. But if you're a Twilight fan, or if you're not even a Twilight fan but you've seen the first movie, you know what I'm saying, the original Twilight, then like, Edward stalked Bella, and he's a vampire, and I also say that he's a Scorpio. So I was like, Edward Cullen is a Scorpio if I've ever seen one. But the way that he like kind of like stalked her, like he would just kind of like sneak. Twilight is such a shady movie that we all grew up on. I'm sorry, but he would just kind of like come into the bedroom and just kind of watch her sleep and like look at her. That's definitely a Scorpio, absolutely. That is what's happening now with this Father of Swords and Hanged Man in the Son of Cups and Ace of Wands. I feel as if subconsciously, you can feel, energetically, this person is like watching you like a hawk, okay? Because we have the Father of Swords here and the Hanged Man, hearing and seeing everything, Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is a spooky combination, man. Because, like, owls see everything. Bats can't see worth a damn, but they hear everything. So this person sees and hears everything. And maybe, like, my 13-year-old self like Edward. Shit, my 23-year-old self tended to like Edward, but I'm over Edward now. I've learned that. I'm like, I don't want, that is not cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another conversation for another day, how we were poisoned to think that was okay. It's not. You want a man who speaks, not a man who, well, as soon as he sees you, he's repulsed by your scent. That's not attractive. Don't go with that. Go with the cool guy. What was his name? Mike? The one who wanted to take you to prom, not the one who was half dead the whole time. Amen. So that's another rant for another day. Watch out for the podcast. But yeah, this person hears and sees everything, and it's mutual, okay? But their passions and their desires are so strong. Sorry for the tangent, but their passions and their desires are so strong. And again, it's Edward Cullen, like your smell, your scent. They like want to eat you. And again, this is subconscious, so this is why it's so like strong, if that makes sense. Don't be scared. This person isn't scary. This is just their deepest, whatever. But they want you so bad. They want to come towards you. They want to thank you, I love that. They want to come towards you. They want to give the business. And so they're just on their P's and Q's to make sure that you're not taken. And that's on period. So you might be feeling that. And like I said, as I said, the Lovers at the bottom of the deck, man. But it comes from, you want to know the craziest part about this energy too. And I'm sorry that this is turning into like such a love reading if you weren't here for love, but it's about connection. If it's not love, it's really about connection. But there is a longing here for stability. Like, it's more than just desire, which is the spookiest part of it all. It's more than just desire. It's a longing for long-term commitment and stability. Like, both parties feel like, this is the one, this is the soulmate, this is all I need. But the fear that comes from that, because I feel like this person, Control means a lot to them, and they know they can't control you, right? Like they know that they're not going to be able to control you. You're too smart for that, which is why they like you in the first place. They like you because they can't control you, but they don't like the situation because they don't have control. Boom, that's what's happening, if that makes sense. And so that is where the push and pull is coming in, because like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that when you're attracted to desire and control, but you're attracted to someone because you can't control them? How do you move forward? What's the strategy? What do you say? What do you say? I'm independent. Yeah. And then of course we have the Two of Cups, boom, with the Eight of Swords, boom, to the Five of Wands. There's the conflict of being in a relationship, the conflict of having to be in something equal for once. That's a huge responsibility, and this goes in. We don't talk about it a lot when it comes to male, and Drake. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that Drake has been my top artist, another Scorpio, for like the past decade, which I'm disgusted. I do not know why Drake is my number one. I can't fathom it. But the one thing that I do appreciate about Drake is that he kind of gives a real good glimpse into the male psyche in a way that we don't normally see, because he is so open with his emotions and being very vulnerable. And that is because he's a Scorpio sun and a Cancer moon. Anyways, I'm saying that to say, some men do have like the same issue that women have, where they get into relationships where they want to fix people and build people and make them into something else than they are, and it comes from a desire of control. People have save-a-hoe syndrome all the day. That affects men hard too, and I feel like this person is more used to that Captain Save-a-hoe, where like the people that they've typically and interacted with, it's not necessarily that they're like gross, less than, or whatever. It's just that they're not the strongest individuals. They're not the most independent. They need them. They need to feel needed. All right. And they've been confronted with your energy, which is like, listen here, I don't need you, but I really want you. And they're just like, I want you too, but you don't need me. So what? I don't know what that means. Like, I'm not used to not being needed. That was how I was able to keep everybody around, was because I had money, or I had a house, or I had this, and you don't need any of it from me. You just want my company. That's a little weird. And so that is really a point of confusion for them. And so, and it's really source of anxiety, with the Eight of Swords here and the Five of Wands. So yeah, I'm happy that you see, because nobody really talks about how males get with women who are, not that I put women down, but they get with women who are fixer-uppers, just like women get with men who are fixer-uppers. That's a type, because you get to control that type, and you get to manipulate that type, and you get to say, this is what we're doing today, and they're going to say okay, because they have nowhere else to go, because they're dependent on you. And those type of relationships, they're predatory, right? On both ends. Both people want something, and it's not each other. You want to fix this person and make them into something that they're not, which implies that they're not good enough right now. And they want you because they want to be fixed, but they don't want to fix themselves. So now you're just in this mess. And by the time it all said and done, try to do that for a year. Try to do that for 2 years. Some people can go on for 10 years. It doesn't work. So I just want to stress that, because that is what this person is wrestling with subconsciously. It seems like, they're just trying to, they're just trying to stay single and all the other stuff. They're not used to dealing with a strong person. And that can be feminine or masculine. They're not used to dealing with somebody who does not need them. They can't. They're not even used to it in family. They're in fact, going back to what we said earlier, they're so used to being taken advantage of by people that that's what they expect. And you're probably one of the first people that's just like, I just think that you're cool. And they're like, that can't possibly be the case. And so that's really giving them and some issues. It really is. The Fool card. But again, this is all a part of their journey. They've had to learn the same way that you've had to learn. I just got to keep bringing that home. The same way that you had to learn that you can't be with fixer-uppers, that you need somebody who's fully developed, who's established, who's ready to bring this two of cups into the forefront, somebody who's ready to give an even exchange. The same way you had to come to that conclusion, they have to come to that conclusion. Now, here's where you have the winning in. You helped them come to that conclusion. You had to blaze the trail. You had to do it yourself. And that's where the power comes in, and that's why they're sweating so much, because they know, energetically, they know that they don't know something that they should know, and they're working on knowing it. And I'm serious, is that all over the place in that jumbled, and they know that you're just looking at them like, so when are you gonna figure it out? Like, when are you gonna figure it out that, like, you can't continue to do the same shenanigans that you're doing and expect a different result? But if that's what you want to do, I love you enough to allow you to do that, because that's your journey. I'm not gonna stop you from it. More power to you. That energy right there, they're just like, so what? The hard way. We do. A lot of people do have to learn the hard way, because if you're this far, again, if you're here in this orbit, on this channel, you're into this, then that means that you've already been drawn to a different type of lifestyle than most people use to actually be able to interact with their spirituality. So a lot of our lessons come a lot harder because we're the first to get them. And so, but this person is catching up with the full card. They have to learn these lessons in order to progress. So that's why you should have faith in the situation that is going to work out, because if they fail the test, it really has nothing to do with your soul, if that makes sense. Like, that's in your soul contract to figure out what the connection is. So if they fail, you'll be presented with a new energy who is ready, if that makes sense. You never lose. If you won the lessons, you never lose them. They're yours to keep forever. So even with this individual, you know that you're too big and you're too great to be waiting around forever. And that's on period. So we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. Excuse me. I'll take and experience what I need. Too stubborn. I am stubborn. I didn't see all of that, but being stubborn is hard. I'm a Taurus moon. Okay, don't talk to me, and Aquarius Mercury. So please do not talk to me about freaking being stubborn and it biting you in the ass. All right, so this person is plotting. What I get with the 8 of Pentacles and the 4 of Swords. Okay, so the 4 of Swords is about isolation, okay, while the 8 of Pentacles is about working. So if you're thinking about working in isolation, I have no choice but to believe that you scheming, you scamming, you plotting, okay? And again, this is subconscious. So this person is really kind of scheming and scamming on how to, shout out Taurus Moon Gang, how to come back and transform the situation. Death to the Justice card. They've been really called, oh my gosh, and I'm being drawn again to the Ace of Wands. They've been super called. It's not called. It's not called. They have so much desire in all forms, but particularly in the sexual realm. They have so many desires that they know in order to get that aspect of it, they have to fix a lot of the situation as it is. I hope that makes sense, because it's bigger than sex. It's more than sex. It's not like this person just wants to sleep with you. That's not what I'm saying. They do a lot, particularly if you've slept together before and you haven't for a while. They are fiending, and that is where a lot of this, you got to deal, if this is a masculine energy, it's very root chakra. So they are very much like, I want what I want. I need that. I don't want anything else. How can I get it? And then they're like, oh shit, I was a shit person. They probably would never accept me back because I was horrible. Oh my God, what do I do? And that is where the internal plotting comes in, the scheming, scamming, because it's just like, well, how do I make it up to this person? That's where their eyes are peeled and their ears are peeled to be like, well, what does this person like? What does this person want to do? Like, how can I get back in? How can I get into good graces? Because I need it. Nothing else. My Scorpio partner be like, Amen. They're like, I need nothing else but this, so I want to get it. And you say that. You say Scorpio partner, and then we have the death card and the justice. So it really is a very Plutonian and Scorpionic energy. It's so funny. I have to see where Pluto is within this configuration, but for this new moon. But yeah, they want balance. They want equality. Again, so after the Justice card, we get to the Six of Pentacles, to the to the Ten of Pentacles. Their deepest desires, or the desires here, and I feel like it's a mutual desire. I know that I keep talking and referring to them, but excuse me, sorry. I know I keep talking and referring to them, but I feel like this is a mutual desire between the two. Both of you just want balance. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of rigmarole. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of malarkey, followed by the Ten of Cups. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just wants peace. Everybody wants peace, but there is a level of vulnerability that has to happen, that has yet to happen. It's inevitable. Yep. And then we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, which is what I'm saying, that dark, those fears, those anxieties, to the Mother of Swords. There's just so much fear about dealing with the truth. So, yeah, we have the Ace of Swords, the Sun, and the Magician. I suck at vulnerability. Exactly. You know, and I'm just saying, if you're thinking about another individual, then they do too. Yeah, you know, we're all one and the same. Like attracts like. But through all of this, both energies, mutual, it's all about being clear about what it is that you want and how you can get it with this combination right here. And I feel like there's a clarity that you have, that this person has, this person, if you're asking about another person at this time, that they want it to work together. They want it to work out. And because of that, it's become like some sense of an obsession. And I say obsession because I saw the Devil card here. To the Queen of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, and Mother of Swords. This is really interesting. There's an obsession to keep this and work it out. I mean, if you're not dealing with a Scorpio, or somebody with a very strong Pluto aspect or very strong Scorpionic placements in their chart, and it could be Scorpio, Mars, or Venus, I would be surprised if you're not, because this is a very wait, a few weeks ago. Yeah, this is a very Scorpionic reading. It can be Capricorn, but the way that this person views love, this is insane. Phoebe Mackin, Phoebe, is that you? Like, is that the Phoebe Mackin? Hold on, I'm sorry, I have to wait for this. I'm about to be shook. For real. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, sorry, I went to high school with her. Shout out to Phoebe. Everybody give Phoebe some freaking love. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Phoebe, for joining. This just made my entire being, like, I'm so excited, like. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, we're back. I had to freak out. Anyways, so we have the Devil and the Eight of Pentacles. This person, again, the way that they view love, the way that they view relationships is very Scorpionic. It's very Plutonian. It's all about possessive. This person's very possessive because they're so protective. They're like, I need, if I'm gonna love you, I need to see you at all point in times, because how would I know if something happened to you? So I have to be there. Again, eyes and ears. That's just the way that they show it. You know, it can very much be, it can feel very intense. You know who else I say is a Scorpio? Batman. Like, think of all the, like, really ludicrous, like, people and media and all that other stuff, who go from one extreme to another, that is very scorpionic energy, and they love in that way. The reason why this is coming up in the subconscious reading is because that is genuinely how they feel. And the problem is with this particular person, they know, okay, by the way, I'm a Scorpio Sun and Venus, so you know what it is. So you know what I'm saying, and it's not a negative thing. If you want, please drop a comment, kind of, because I don't want to paint a negative picture. It's just not what people are used to, because it's so mine. And like, if you're mine, then you're mine. And people have to recognize that Scorpios and Taurus energy are direct opposite, and so therefore they are one and the same. So when you think of a Taurus, you should be thinking of a Scorpio. So what do we know about Taurus? Taurus are very stubborn, they're very headstrong, they're very possessive, they like what they like, they're going to keep it, they don't like to lose. Same thing can be said about Scorpio. It's just how they go about that result are a lot different. Taurus are more, I'll just hang in here till the cows come home. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Opposed to a Scorpio, more scorpionic energy, that's gonna be like, well, I want it, so now I'm gonna strategize, plot, scheme to get it, manipulate, if you will, to get it, and taking that action. But the fixation is the same, and both signs are fixed energy. So that is why this person is having so much trouble wrestling with it, because they know that they love that way, and they don't particularly like that they love that way, because they don't like who they become. They don't like how much they lose themselves in these type of commitments. And because you're different, and because you're different, they really don't even know how they would respond to you, because again, they're not used to anybody who doesn't need them. Which brings us back to the original issue that we had to begin with. So like, if you don't need them and they're kind of on this, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? And again, we have this Daughter of Swords, and they're kind of like looking out, like, what's happening, what's, being controlling, and you're just like, delete my number, I don't care. They're like, I'm not used to this. I don't know what to do. Because in a part of them, and I'm also being drawn again to the Queen of Cups, like the Mother of Pentacles. I'm also being drawn to, they still want you to be as free as you possibly can. Like, they don't want to restrict you. They admire you so much and respect you so much that they want you to blossom, but they don't know how to allow someone to blossom without keeping every inch of control over them, and then it comes in Kris Jenner, and you can say what you want, but Kris Jenner is another scorpionic mother. She's a Scorpio, and she's the mother of them, and look what she was able to get her children's, the Kardashians, Jenner clan. She has a billionaire child who wasn't even 21 yet, and that became the strategy. Now, I'm sure if you talked to the children, if you talked to Kris, Kylie, whatever, whoever, if you talk to them, she's probably very controlling and very overwhelming and a lot to take in. And at times that she felt like they were suffocating, because it was like, what are you doing? But look at the success that it caused. So this person is wrestling with that, because they're like, I want to take over in that way, but I don't want to constrict you. But my love is constricting, because I'm a boa constrictor. I don't know how not to be. And they are mature enough and reasonable enough and have answered and gone subconsciously enough to say that and wrestle with it. But now it's gotten to a point, and I'm being drawn again to the Devil, where because of that energy, they are scared of themselves, they're scared of relationships, and they're scared that they would lose you in like the truest term, because they're like, you really don't know who I am, and once you find out who I am, I'm probably gonna scare you. Oh my God, this is Twilight. This is literally, oh my God. Everybody, I really should just rename this, like, you are living Twilight. Like, it's just like, I sparkle in the sunshine, and you're just like, but you're beautiful. But that's where they are. Guess what? 5 movies later, 4 books later, they worked out for better or for worse. She was transformed, they came together. So if that's the wedding that you want, a baby busting you out, then that's fine. But this is literally Twilight. Like, I feel bad. And then we got with the 5 of Swords, which just clarifies exactly what I was saying as far as like their issue. Look, and then we have the Chariot and the Father of Pentacles. But It's just so they want to be that provider. Hold on. But they want to be a provider. And I know I'm digging in, and I just read that comment. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Scorpio. I just know that this is very Scorpionic energy. I don't have Scorpio on my chart, but I have a lot of Pluto aspects. And so it's just one of those things where I'm just picking up on that is probably the easiest way to get it. But the situation's the same. You're dealing with somebody who wants to have control over a situation that they can't have control over, and they don't know what to do about it. But they do want to step up subconsciously with the Chariot to the Father of Pentacles. They want to step up and be a provider and a supporter, because especially because they feel like they haven't been in the past, and they want to rewrite that narrative. The Ten of Swords, they want to rewrite that narrative and kind of change what they said, and they just have this desire and this wish to speak and communicate that. But again, they have an issue with opening their mouth and being vulnerable. So it's just like, I guess I'm able to give you this information and channel it because we're being subconscious, and they wish, if they were to tell you, if they were to have a conversation with you, it would not be nearly as articulate as this is happening right now. I can promise you right now, I'm doing them a lot of justice. I'm doing them a lot of justice, because this person would not be able to really articulate what I'm saying in this way. They would get very frustrated. And this person, and the funny thing is, probably this person is pretty much, is usually a really good communicator, but when it comes to shit like this, they can't. So we have the Ten of Wands. So there's a sense of burden here. Yeah, burden and isolation. The Seven of Swords. Somebody feels really left out. Somebody feels very abandoned. But, excuse me, I'm being drawn here. I literally want to scream like, oh my gosh. Phoebe! I'm sorry, I just can't get over she's here. Anyways, this right here with the Seven of Swords and this Fox card, they have this secret, again, it's an obsession, and they're keeping an eye out. They're keeping an eye out. And here's the thing. They're really, really clever, and they're really, really sneaky. And so if they're on your social media or anything, they're not under their name. They're not under their guise. They would never want to give up that they are really obsessive, because they're scared. Like, if you look at how many times they check your page and all the other stuff, you will be freaked out. To the Judgment card. But there's so much hidden isolation here. Her nickname, Sly. Yeah, Sly as a fox. I'm telling you, this person is very sly. And I'm painting a picture, and this person might sound pretty negative. Again, I just want to stress it's the subconscious. And this person, that's actually a talent. Like, if they were to do that, that's one of their gifts. Like, their gifts and their their greatest talents are also some of their worst qualities. And that is true. And that is what they've been wrestling with, and that is how they've been that's what they've been trying to overcome for God knows how long. Probably their entire life. Is how do they take these really good qualities that they have that would be able to do bad and make it good. Like I said, Batman is Scorpio. I'm telling you. All right. I want to get one more. All right, so here we go. Taurus energy, getting a lot of Taurus energy with the Four of Cups to the Hierophant and the Hermit. Somebody's clinging to their beliefs. They're clinging to what they know. Let's see what the rest of the cards are. Three of Swords. Seven of Cups, and let's look at this last one, the Father of Cups. Let me get some more information. Okay. One second, guys. Okay. All right. Somebody's clinging to what they know, their faith, their beliefs, their upbringing. Okay. And it's almost as if, and this makes sense too with the full moon, to kind of bring it back to the full moon reading. People are gonna be like, "What the heck? This was all over the place." Listen, I just pulled the cards. I'm just a messenger. I apologize. All right. So the Four of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. Somebody's clinging to their beliefs that they've had for a while, and this could be their Catholic belief, their religious beliefs. Just they have a very, or have had a very noble way of looking at life and the way that they look at things, and they feel as if for like maybe the first time, maybe they, how do I word this? This is pretty interesting. Maybe they were brought up in a certain religion and they left that religion behind and they moved on. But now with the full moon that's happening and all these energies that are taking place, subconsciously they're being forced to look at who they are now, and it doesn't comply with who they thought they were going to be when they were a child, if that makes sense. And it could be because they are looking at themselves religiously now and being like, oh my gosh, I am completely out of sync with my spirituality, and what if everything that I was taught younger was actually correct, and I have gone down this path and descended down this path that isn't the best for me. But they also have this feeling of like, I'm not going to be held back. So that's for some people. For others of you, they grew up with it is crazy that you said that. Oh, it's crazy that you said that. So this is about to blow your mind, because I was literally about to say, for some of you, it comes in the form of father. It comes in the form of some father. I was about to say, maybe their father was very, very strong, and maybe they worked to not become that thing, or not become their father, or what have you. And they've slowly become that person, and they're like, just like, who am I? And so they're trying to figure out how to shift who they thought they were, who they wanted to be, and who they are now. And again, so, and if this is your father and all the other stuff, then again, they are coming through and speaking and just like letting you know that it is going to heal. There's a lot of confusion, but there's love there. So that's for you if you need that. But yeah, there's just such a tie to how they were what they fundamentally think about the world because of their family or whatever. And it's shifting their perspective, because they're either realizing one or two things. They're either realizing that they grew up in a really effed up situation. They grew up in a really, you want to talk about toxic masculinity. They want to talk about, just somebody who just was not the way that they shaped themselves to be. They realize that was not the case and they want to do different. Or they want to get back to their sense of self that they had when they were a child before they lost faith and hopelessness. Regardless, the end situation, the end result will be the same. It's this new beginning, with the Daughter of Wands here. It's this new beginning and this excitement. We have the World here, the Ace of Cups, the Son of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. I'm at the Ace of Pentacles, to the Ace of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Wands, and the Temperance card. Okay, so all that being said, this person has decided to shift. They've decided to shift gears. They want to step up in some way. They want to bring balance in some way. They now come to the conclusion that it's not too late to do the right thing. Quite literally. Like, they're like, it's not too late to do the right thing. And so that's why they're probably coming back with so much passion and so much drive to change the situation that they're in. And with the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles here, they want to offer something long-term and stable and something very loving. This is the long haul. This is it. This is it for this person. I want you to recognize that the way that, man, this is it. They're just like, if this doesn't work out, I'm putting in everything that I have for this to work out. If this doesn't work out, then I'm done. And again, I have no choice but to believe you would be able to say the same thing. If this next relationship that you have, if this racist, if this thing that you have within you isn't going to work out, then you're like, I don't need it. I will focus on myself. I will focus on my business. They better not legalize prostitution, because I would just put a down payment on and call it a day. They're at that same vibration that you are. So that's why this situation has caused so much hesitation from them, because it's that serious. I really want to express that, because this is, again, coming up in the subconscious. But again, they're yearning for balance and equilibrium weighs out any fear that they might have, and they're being guided so much so by a feminine energy, perhaps. Perhaps for some of them, they lost their mother at a young age. Okay. For some of you, it has to deal with the feminine energy. This has been the relationship between the feminine and the masculine energy has been the hoorah rah rah of this reading. And so their relationship maybe with a mother or something, they might have lost a mother at a young age, or a very important feminine energy at a young age. But that person is specifically guiding them in order to come to these conclusions, so they're not alone. Even though they go through the daily life alone, they are very, very spiritual. They're very connected, and somebody on the other realm, again, subconsciously is pushing them in order to come to these certain conclusions, and getting them to, and somebody said it earlier, getting them to love themselves. And so they're having to appreciate exactly who they are and what they bring to the table, and they haven't before, and that's what they're working on. Because they desire balance, and I feel like Spirit is telling them, you can have it just the same way that it's happening with you. I can say the same thing about you. If there are feminine energies that have past you, and they want you to see love, then they're going to usher in this arranged marriage of sorts. It really is kind of an arranged marriage, and an agreement, a predestined agreement that had to happen. But the journeys had to unfold the way that they did in order for you to blossom into this beautiful, loving, graceful being that you are, again, man or female. The Daughter of Pentacles here. So just being able to stand on your own 2 feet, learning how to ground your loving, learning how to really give your loving, because I feel like when you were younger, and when most people are, you just give it freely. Everybody can have it. Here, I love you. I love you. No, I love you. And as you've aged and as you've gone through trials and tribulations with this person and without this person, just in life, you've learned that your love is a very valuable resource, and you're not willing to just give it over to any freaking body. And that right there is able to attract this person, because for the first time they have to work for something, they have to earn something. Normally it's just given to them. They say a few cute words here, very smooth talker, probably very good looking. They normally get what they want, and you're probably one of the first people to be like, no. No, I'm not going to give it to you that easily. I need something. I've been through too much BS to continue to sign on to BS. I don't care how much I think I like you. I don't care how good the relationship is. Okay? I don't care. I don't care. And that is really striking. I'm being, again, called to the 8 of Wands here. That's really struck a fire under this person's ass, because energetically they feel it. They might not know what the disconnect is, but they are sensing a disconnect. They're like, something's happening. This bee is kind of learning that she's the shit, and I don't need her to find out, I don't need to know how amazing she actually is. That's here we go with the Scorpio. I don't need her to know how amazing she actually is, so she doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But they know that you already know, and so that's why they just want to tell you that they know too, and they want to be a part of what you got going on. And so I do sense that they're going to come through and try to fight for some sort of reunion. They want to come back. With the 3 of Cups here, they want to fight for a return. They want to be courageous and bold. But when I tell you, it's really crazy how this person's subconscious shifts. And I want you to brace for that, because this is probably somebody who was literally just drug their feet along. You know what I'm saying? You can never really tell how much they cared. They were there, but they were not there. They would come in, but they would disappear, The shift that they have encountered, this fire that has been lit under their ass, I'm telling you, it caught them like a semi truck. It just hit them. All of a sudden they were just like, oh my god, oh my gosh, like I can't believe, like, oh my God, I can't believe that I've been doing this all the freak wrong. Like, oh my God, like they're in that state right now. But they know that they have to do something. They just don't know what it is that they have to do. But subconsciously they're going through gymnastics of like this, like, you know, when you've seen shout out to SpongeBob, the episode when he learns all the waiter things, and then they ask him his name, and he doesn't know his name, and like it's in his brain, it's all these little SpongeBobs, and they're just like going through all the files, just like, what's my name? What's this kid's name? And they're like that. They're like, love, what is love? I think I'm in love. I think this is love. I haven't been in love in so long. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. It's kind of cute, but like at the same time very annoying, because like how much time is that gonna take? Six of Cups to the Emperor and the Nine of Wands. So again, this has to deal with childhood traumas, childhood triumphs that they had to overcome, particularly when it could be easily, like, it might have been they lost their mother young, they were raised by their father was an asshole, they had a bad stepmom, they ended up in this situation. It's literally one of those, like, it's a good reference, but it's just like, they've been in situations where they've genuinely had to fight for themselves continuously. They've never been able to just be at peace when it comes to, like, their home lives. And that's just from childhood. You guys either have, like, you guys are either the exact same, and, like, the way that you draw, like, you've grown up, like, it's pretty freaky, or you're polar opposites. There's no in between. Either you grew up with, like, an ivory spoon, and, like, everything was honky-dory, you didn't have any of these issues, and everybody has issues, but your story, like, their story in comparison would be so different, you'd be like, I wouldn't even know what to begin what that feels like. Like, I grew up in such a middle-class family, or I grew up in a happy household, you know. I had no idea that they treated people like that, you know, like, and I feel like that's their, polar. Yeah, I feel like that's been the issue, and they kind of know that. And I'm also hearing Princess and the Pauper. It really is kind of Princess and the Pauper, where this person probably had to survive and be very scrappy, and they're aware that you are a princess, and they know that princesses have to be treated as such, okay, or else they're not sticking around. And so they know that they got to step up, but it's causing them to have to elevate. Yeah, it's causing them to have to freaking elevate to a whole nother level, and they want to. That's the crazy thing. They want to. They didn't think that they could do it before, but now they, like, think that they can. Interesting. The moon, the Tower, the Daughter of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Strength card. So here we are in the subconscious deck. Here we are in the subconscious deck with this subconscious awakening. Again, I want to be strong to this lightning that's happening. This is how quickly this revelation is happening for them. For you, it's probably a long thing. You've probably been thinking about this for months. Sorry, boo. You've probably been thinking about this for months. You've been like, how is this going to work out? You know, just kind of easing it over a cup of coffee. You've been like, oh, you know, I'm thinking about the situation, you know. Like, lightning equals divine, thank you. You know, just sitting there, you know, when you're in the shower, you would think about it. This person, they avoided thinking about it for as long as they could. They did their own thing. They've been doing their own thing. They've tried not to address it. And then overnight, this moon is about to strike, light that ass up. Like the 4th of July. Like the 4th of freaking July. And it's going to, like, dawn on them, like rain on them, like acid rain, like, oh my God. I'm telling you, I don't even know, this energy is very soon, but it genuinely might happen, like, tonight, within the next couple of days, within these next 2 weeks. This person's gonna get struck by lightning, quite literally, on the Daughter of Cups and the Six of Swords, and they're going to want to come and offer some peace offering. But just be mindful that, again, with this Strength card here, and I love this card for multiple reasons, but I also want to warn with this card. They're probably coming in with some sort of apology or some sort of love offering, and it's coming in the form of a page, so it's small. So I wouldn't expect some super grand gesture. Like I said, this person cannot communicate feelings, they're not going to be able to all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? So the way that they're going to approach this is going to be probably in a very playful manner. If you're watching this, you know, and you're vibrating with this, then give it to them. Don't take it as an insult, because they got to start somewhere. They don't know where to start, so they might start with like the dumbest joke. They might send you like a dumb meme or like just something really dumb, and you're gonna be like, really? Like this is what you came up with after all of this stressful mental agility that you've been doing? You decided to like hit me up with a SpongeBob meme or what have you. Yes. Yes. That's this person's, they're just trying to figure out a way to like get their foot in the door, because through everything that's happened within the situation, they don't really know where they stand with you. They have no idea how you actually feel. Even if you've said, this is how I feel, they're still like, but does she still feel that way? Because there could have been time that's passed. They could have felt like they missed their opportunity. They could have felt like the moment passed. They might even think that you're talking to somebody else. Like they don't know where you are in your life because they haven't asked. Let's dig into it. Let's get into it. They haven't asked, so they don't know what's going on. They don't know where you are in the world. They have no idea, and so they are just trying to figure out what is the smoothest way for me to get information again without coming off like I'm getting information. So maybe if I send this person something dumb and they respond, then that means that they don't hate me. So that's an opportunity to come into the fray. So just be prepared, because with the strength card, they're coming with some sort of apology, but it's not going to be a grand apology in a sense, but it might be accompanied with some grand action. I just wouldn't expect, and I mean this, and I'm specifically speaking to the feminine energy, I wouldn't expect this to be a rom-com in the traditional sense of they're going to run up to you and then they're going to be like, oh my God, I've been all wrong the entire time. I love you. You've been the one for me the whole time. Yada, 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 yada. I don't think that you're going to get that grand of a entrance, you know, and that's not to say that their love isn't grand, but that's just not who they are to sit and talk about their feelings. They would much rather do something about those feelings. So they would much rather be like, yo, hey, we should go to this thing. Like, they would been creeping on your page. They know you like a band. They saw that the band's coming. They're going to be like, oh, I just so happen to have an extra ticket to this band. And you'll be like, oh my God, I love this band. How did you know? Because they've been looking for that moment to be able to come and connect to you. So just be prepared that it might not be the most romantic thing on the planet, because they do have a lot of pride, and they're not going to come off it anytime soon. They're just trying to get back in contact with you so they can get talking again, because I feel like if they can talk to you, then they can, again, because they have a way with words. Trust me. They're like, if they can get talking to you, then they can kind of steer what they want to happen. More so the illusion of it, you know, the illusion. And then finally, last but not least, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Son of Wands. So look at this beautiful butterfly. So a transformation, again, transformation, moving forward, balance. We have the infinity symbol here. So this is all about harmony, grace, and coming in again with a passion that is so real, right? And so deep that it cuts through all of the fears that we've discussed. All of these fears and subconscious, all these fear and subconscious thoughts that they have, the respect, it's respect first, the love and desire that they have for you is causing them to have to act, or they know they have to act. And if they don't act, they know that it is entirely their fault and they missed the opportunity, and you will move on and they will regret it. And they know that. And because they know that the ball is in their court. And I'm serious. They're so aware of that, but they are also very aware that they're going to have to come off of their pride and their ego in order to really see where you guys are at, because they're going to have to open themselves up for a sense of rejection, even though, excuse me, you might feel like, reject them? I've been waiting for them I've been waiting for this to work out forever. Why would I ever reject them? I've been, patiently waiting. They don't have that same perception of the situation as you do, because you're you, so you know how you feel. They don't really know how you feel, and maybe they typically know how people feel. Again, Edward Cullen can read minds, but you're Bella Swan. He can't get in that. He don't know what's happening, and that freaks him out. And so, like, there is a little bit of a fear of rejection, of like, I don't know if this will work. But eventually they're going to get to the point where they're going to be like, schmuck it. Schmuck it. If I get rejected, so be it. I'll just be single for the rest of my life. That's fine. Like, but I'm going to try. And so they're getting to that point where, and I love this with the strength card. The strength card in the Seven of Wands is, they're like, I'm going to try. Listen. Trust me, I'm gonna get into them DMs some kind of way. I don't care. I don't care if I have to make a fake account and come in with a fake name and then be like, surprise, it's me. I'm getting back into that vibration. That is so funny. This is so interesting that the subconscious reading took such a deep dive into, I would say, their subconscious, but this has to be yours too. Like, I took it from their perspective because sometimes it's easier to hear about things when when it doesn't feel like an attack on you. But again, and I'm being pulled to the Lovers here, there's a mirroring here. So you have to acknowledge that these same fears, desires, all of these things are going through you. They might turn up in a different way, but the same things are going through you, so this has just been a moment of healing and clarification. And again, those conclusions are within reach, so you're going to be able to finally get the answers that you've been seeking to know how to move forward, and if to move forward with this person. Like, I do see potential for victory. Like, if I had to be honest, for most of you, I see potential for victory. I see this person working out. I see this person coming to terms with themselves again, with a lot of guidance, from spirit, to try to get them to come out of this frequency. But I do see potential here for victory. I do think that you guys have mad potential to be stable and long term. It's mutual. The person feels the same way about you that you feel about them. That is not the question. The issue is communication. It really is communication and pride and ego, which is always, 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 always going to be the issues. Always, every time. It's always going to boil down to those two things, ego and communication. So once you can heal this trauma, and you can come and be understanding, and they can come out and they have to give, they're not going to give you 50. It's not going to be 50-50. Be okay with the 30 that they're about to serve you, because that's really all that they can do. They're mustering up every bit of being from their pinky toe in order to try something new. They're doing something for you that they've never done for anyone before. This person probably has prided themselves on being a player, on being somebody who does not give a but they respect you. They respect you too much to put you in the same category that they put other individuals and others' relationships, and they're aware that you are expecting something more from them, and they want to deliver it, because over all of that, they trying to get in them pants. Hey, them pants. Like, they're trying to get back in that thing, and that is enough to get them to do the things that they're supposed to do, to to actually deal with their freaking issues so they can come back, and that's that. Like, what a freaking reading. I was not expecting all that. That is so funny. I am going to pull from the animal deck. And then, yeah, we're Audi 500. This went so much longer than I thought. This is so funny. Oh! So the card that came out was Polar Bear Mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within, okay? Love this. Love this, okay? Literally felt like you wiretapped my apartment. Maybe I did. I'm just kidding. But you know, and I like this card too because spirituality, psychic abilities, all this other stuff. I think all of us, when you tune into a certain frequency, just like a radio station, you can hear it. You just got to adjust. You just got to fine tune your frequencies, guys. So trust that you're on the right station. Trust that what you're hearing is right, because a lot of you guys, and I'm telling you, if you're here, my readings, and I've been okay because man, look at what we have at the bottom of the deck. I am sorry, guys. I was trying to close this out, and here we go again. Look at that. Fox. Who was it? Sly. Sly is a fox. This right here at the, and guess where it was? At the bottom of the deck. I wasn't even checking for it. Still there. That's what I'm saying. They're looking. They're probably looking at for you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably on your social media right now trying to gather information on how to come back into the situation. All right. So we have Fox. Clever. You are swift and smart. Solutions and problems are easily found. Always listen to your instincts. Resources surround you. Be open to romance. Y'all saw it here. Y'all literally saw it here. I don't make this shiz up. Like, anyways, what I was saying about the psychic abilities, you can tune into your own frequency. So trust that if you are seeing those synchronicities, particularly during this next 2-week span, because Neptune is doing some shiz with Mercury and communication and all that other stuff. So you should be very confident that if you're thinking of somebody, they're thinking of you too. If you see their birthday and their numbers and all the other stuff, you were meant to see that. That's not a joke. And just understand that, like, listen, go with the flow, follow the path. It's out of your control at this point. It really is. You're waiting for this Fox character. You're waiting for this sneaky deaky person to finally reveal themselves and come out the shadows. And I literally just got an image. It's just like, you know, when you're like a little kid and your parents tell you to like leave and you're just like right around the corner and you're like peeping out. That's how close this person is to you energetically. And they're just working on like this, like they're like, hey, I'm telling you, like they're gonna pop back up. So yeah, so that is what I got for this full moon. What a ride. I'm so happy. Thank you, Jam. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Whew, yeah, man, this was such a ride. And I'm just gonna read comments now. Yeah, like weird. I've been seeing numbers. Yeah, that's good, Phoebe. 1111 and all the other stuff. Like, those are portals and gates that are opening. Things are shifting. Anytime you see numbers, and I've been saying this in general, and this is big. You know, angels Aristotle said this. Angels communicate through numbers and music. And when you think about music, music is nothing but numbers. You know. But angels communicate through numbers and music. So anytime that you see patterns, rhythms, you know, when you get into the rhythm of the universe, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about seeing those things that are uncommon. Like, what are the chances? When you think about chances and you think about probability, what are the chances of you looking at the clock at 11:11 at the same time, you know, 3 days in a row? What are the absolute chances that you could have looked at the clock at 11:10? You could have looked at the clock at 11:12. No, it was 11:11 at the same time every day. You were pulled to check your phone. You were pulled to check a clock. That energy is never a coincidence with the mystical. Don't drive yourself crazy now. Like, I'm not saying like everything is like, oh, don't do that. You know, there's always a balance. Everything has its answers and re-answers. But don't shy away from it. I've been seeing a 77. And like I said, today I saw 666, 666, 699, 666. I just kept seeing it. I was just like, okay, I don't know what it is that you're trying to tell me, but I get it, you know? 3 4s on my screen, always synchronized numbers. Yeah, those numbers, and look them up. The internet is a powerful place. Listen, the internet is the new Underground Railroad. It's the information highway. You have to remember that. So when you see these patterns, look them up for yourself. You know, you see 11:11. What is the spiritual meaning behind 11:11? What is the spiritual meaning behind 4 4? 444, and it'll speak directly to what it is that you want. Like I looked up 77, and it was all about letting go of the past, forgiving yourself, and knowing that the angels are with you for the future, and it's karmic because sevens are karmic. And I was just like super duper excited about it, you know, because that's what I really needed to hear, and I kept seeing it. So it really does work. What number mean is, and my search was mad times. Got to. And man, it's hard to keep up. You just got to remember, if you can remember what the numbers 1 through 9 are, like 1 through 9 are really the only real numbers that we have. Everything else is just a combination of those 9 numbers. And so if you can start just really honing in on learning 1 through 9, then you will be able to remember what everything else means, or get a general idea of what certain combinations mean. So yeah. Whew. What a ride, y'all. What a ride. I can't do math, so I'm not even sure how long this reading was, but it was tough. But I love hanging out with y'all. A lot of people stayed the whole time. Like, I'm so honored. I was like looking up there. I was like, we've been consistent. We've been consistent. Shout out to Phoebe, girl. You know, you can hit me up anytime. I feel like I'm a triple Pisces. I feel like the queen of going with the flow. Oh my gosh, a triple Pisces. Wow. That's magical. That's magical. I can't imagine. Baby, I can't imagine. I thank my Taurus moon all the time. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that so much. I'm so happy that you were able to join me. I always want to do stuff more frequently. You gave me hope. The hope peddler. And let me tell you something. Earlier this week, I'm sure earlier this week and last week, you probably did feel pretty hopeless at some point. Yeah, on IG. At the Wicked Witch of the West with 3 eyes. Thank you. All right. Well, I think I am going to remember. No, I don't. Hit me up on Instagram. Because I've changed my number like 5 times. I'm ridiculous. I'm absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, y'all. Just know that I'm a ridiculous person in real life. But yeah, peace, guys. I wish you the best. Expect the unexpected, of course, with full moon energy. And this next 2 weeks, you'll have to keep me posted. And even if, I'm talking to Phoebe, but always you feel free to hit me up on Instagram. Like, I can be slow to respond. I'm not going to lie. But I will respond, and I do see them. So if you just want to be like, oh my God, girl, it literally happened, or oh my God, it didn't happen, just try to stay away from that. But you know what I'm saying? You can give me feedback and hit me up. And yeah. It's at the Wicked, WIIIKED Witch of the West. So it should pop up. But I know more people have issues finding it. But if you look at any of the other videos, it's in the description box. I just have to put it up there after I upload it. Hopefully it'll go up there. But yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. Thank you. I love your energy. I'm able to do this because of you. You guys give me so much life and really, like, sometimes inspire me to literally get out of bed. And I mean that wholeheartedly. So thank you. Peace. Phoebe, I know. Bye, y'all.